Happy birthday, dear George. Happy birthday to you.
We love you, George. George, I want to say that that your wisdom is so very much a part of our sometimes our days. I mean, we will sit and talk, and suddenly something that you have given Steve and I, this gem, will come into our conversation, and we'll look at each other and say, George. So I want to thank you for the wisdom you've shared with me. That is still very much close to my heart. Thank you, George.
And what I want to share is also very serious, George. What I want to know is when's our next racquetball game? And also, George, what I want to thank you is for making it possible for me to be with this absolutely amazing, lovely lady.
George and Ann.
And I want to thank you, George, for being one of my most important mentors. You helped me learn how to be free. Thank you. I mean that. Thank you very much.
And I know so many sprinters. It's wonderful to know a long-distance runner.
So, George, I hope that your birthday is filled with just a wonderful family and friends surrounding you, filling you with the love that you so much deserve. We love you, George.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
80 years old. All
Yeah,
right.
my word.
It's on. Go. I think it's on.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Happy birthday, George. This is a video. We're very high tech, so I'm expecting high quality on this. So first of all, the trivia question. Years ago, I don't know how long ago, long enough, I hope that the memory is not painful. Madeline and I and the kids were down at the cabin in the Arroyo Seco, and when we got done, you know, it was end of the season, and you know, people were closing everything up, and so when we left, we carefully turned everything off, and we drove back up to Rainey's house, I think, and we had Thanksgiving dinner up there. I believe I have this right. And when we got there, you know, we were all chatting, everything's nice, and we got ready to go, and so I mentioned to you guys that I'd closed up the cabin. The cabin was all closed up, and he said, "Oh, okay, well, good." You guys said thank you. And we turned everything off. You know, everything's turned off. And now relative to that, I want you guys to see if you can remember what our special gift was to you at that time. It is something memorable, accidental. It was a mistake, for which I'm apologizing along with this little video message. But see if you can remember what that gift was. And then the other thing I wanted to say is that you gave us, George, some counseling, because I was a heathen when I wanted to marry Madeline, and the church was not satisfied with my sanctity, and you helped us with this, and I wanted to thank you. Those were good sessions. I enjoyed that very much, getting to know you like that, and I know Madeline feels the same way. So
And she would tell you, except she's holding the camera.
She's the high-tech camera person here. So so I wanted to thank you for that. That was just one example of your large and generous spirit, and we were happy to know you guys. So George, happy birthday.
George, happy birthday. I'm holding the camera and talking, and I hope this comes out okay. I remember those sessions too, and they were really fun, and we're still married, so that's a success. And the trivia question, the theme of it is "The road to hell is paved with good intentions," a motto I live by. We love you, George. Happy birthday. Bye.
Happy birthday, George.
Happy birthday. We wish we could be there with you, but we're sitting here thinking of a lot of old memories back from St. Anthony grade school days and back to the days of Dragon Main Street on Saturday night, your dad's pickup.
And when you were home from St. Gregory's for the summers, where we used to go out camping out by the lake, and we would buy some refreshments at Jimmy's beer joint, and the only identification required was dollar bills.
And then we have, of course, good memories of you being best man at our wedding. You did a good job. It's lasted over 60 years. And lots of good memories of spending time with you and Carol and the girls in your hilltop home in California.
It was always fun there, and we always enjoyed Carol too. She's the artist of the family.
Okay, fast.
And one thing I remember, that she came here to Dallas, went in my carving room, and she carved a carving in 2 days. It would have taken me 3 weeks. So you all have a good time.
And we're thinking of you. Wish we could be there with you. It's been a good time. Lots of good times. And we ended a really high note last summer when you officiated at our granddaughter's wedding. So that completed the circle. Now we each have a trivia question. Sam?
I want to know if you remember the initials of our secret society that the four of us have.
And I wondered if you remember the name of the song that you and I performed, you on the trumpet and me on the piano. We were quite a duo.
But
Happy birthday.
happy
Bye.
birthday.
Grandpa, have you met my Pachuchu yet? He is a rat and his name is Oreo and he's so cute. Anyways, I just wanted to say happy birthday, and I hope you have a happy birthday.
My dear friend, compadre, padre, brother-in-arms, George, you are definitely one of the most amazing men I have ever known, and honored that I get to call you my friend. There are but a few men that I admire, and you are one of those. You are a runner, an author, a guide, a mentor, a priest, a spiritual coach, a husband, an extraordinary dad to 2 amazing young women, a friend to many, a kindred spirit. Santa Cruz has never been the same without you here, and I miss having you. My best memory of you, my friend, is when early on you were thinking of running to get in shape. There was this race you wanted to enter and said, "What if I come in last?" I said, "George, you will not be last unless you want to." My thought has always been that those who do finish last want to. George, Jan and I wished you an exhilarating, in-the-zone kind of marathon. All you do to achieve that is put one foot in front of the other and do it 1 second at a time till you cross the finish line. It really works. We love you, George, Jan, and Jerry.
Happy birthday, dear. This is the first trivia question is who am I, and the second is greetings from the chicken coop here in Sebastopol, and that known you for 40 years. I figured out, and that's a long, long time. So great years together. So the trivia question I want to ask you is, you call me your certain kind of woman. And can you remember what that is? Happy birthday. Love you, honey, and many more years together.
Jennifer, this is Father Morris in Oklahoma, and I received your card about your dad's birthday.
Hi, Grandpa. I'm Alexa. So Grandpa, I have a trivia question for you, and it was, what was the book that you read on your rocking chair in the morning? It starts with T, and it ends with a T. Actually, it ends with a period.
Marcy and I are celebrating your 80-year journey on this earth. And if I were a writer, I would write a book about all the mountains you have climbed, all the places you have been, and I would title the book, The Oklahoma Kid from Greasy Creek to Chico. Now you go explain that to your family, George. We love you. Happy, happy 80 years.
Happy birthday, George. I'm so sorry I can't be there to celebrate with you guys, but just want to let you know I am so lucky to call you my father-in-law. I have to say I pretty much lucked out on that one. World's best father-in-law award goes to you. And trivia question. Sarah and I legally got married on July 25th. What was the date that you married us? June 22nd, 2013. Thank you.
Hey Dad, happy birthday. When I think of you, I always think of all the great advice that you've given me throughout the years. Don't spit in the wind, don't pee uphill, and always keep my oar in the water. You've always supported me in any of my endeavors, and at this point, my oar, I think I can finally take it out of the water. So I want to thank you always for your love and support. So my trivia question for you is, in which year did you receive Father of the Year award? Every year, because I can't remember which one it was. I love you. Happy birthday.
Hey Dad, I love you very much, and I'm really honored to be your daughter and to call you my dad. And on this 80th birthday, I want to test your memory of when I was young. What was the game that we used to play driving to school on our way to Santa Cruz Gardens? And my second question is, what did you always used to tell Sarah and I when we would fight? What was a one-word advice you used to give us?
Happy birthday, George.
Love you. Bye.